Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, Mike and Mish, with the Mike and Mish Show. What up there, Mikey?
Yo, what's going on, Kyle? What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back, baby.
We are back. We are live. We are always live. We are always uncensored, and we are always talking to the best in the business. And tonight we have a real special treat for all the bare knuckle fighting fans out there. We got two absolute fucking badasses, and our first guest of the evening is an actual legend, like a living legend of the game, of the sport that we love so much. We're going to start off the show with Jimmy Sweeney. The king himself is coming on, and then we're going to follow him up with the gangster Prince of Wales himself there, David One More Round. So how you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing all right. We had a little bit of a different schedule going on, so it feels like it's been forever since we've been on here. A whole week.
7 days is a lot of days. It is a lot of days, but we're back. We're going to be talking.
No fights in between.
And no fights in between. That's the thing. If we had some fights to watch over the weekend, it probably wouldn't have seemed so fucking long. And you know what? Here's how much I have fallen off the UFC scene. Like, I didn't even realize there was a UFC event this past Saturday night until I started hearing all the eye poke talk about Henry Cejudo and whatnot. And I'm like, God damn, I didn't even know there was a fucking event on Saturday night, man. I've fallen off, Mike.
Yeah, I've fallen off too. And then when I know it's coming on and I watch a pay-per-view, I'm up till friggin' 2 o'clock. And the last time I watched an event, I was up till 2 a.m. watching the fights. I was like, oh, is this ever going to end? Yeah. You know, when you look at the clock and you're like, oh, we're just about starting the co-main and it's 1. Unbelievable.
Hey, it ain't like the sport that we cover, dude. Like, I love the sport that we cover because the events are about 3.5 hours long total. No fluff in between. 5 2-minute rounds, all action, lots of knockouts, no fluff in between. They just get them out there, they get them going, and everybody has a good time before, during, and after. Best sport on the planet. What do you say that we shout out our sponsors real quick and we get this damn show on the road? What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. There we go.
Yo, dynamic life, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. Retake control of your life by reaching optimal health. Visit www.livedynamic.com. It's the only online platform where you can become a patient in under 20 seconds. Also, check out their Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That's LIV Dynamic on Instagram.
There it is. And also get your asses over to the Rasha. It is the official mindset, recovery, and performance partner of the BKFC. And also a bunch of champions like Christine Faria, Austin Trout, former champion Elvin Brito, and the Mike and Mish show. It is the real deal. Get over to Rasha Elite on Instagram. That is at Rasha Elite. There is a link in the bio that'll bring you to therasha.com and get that championship mindset like everybody else that's using the Rasha. It is the real deal. Holyfield. What do you say, Mike? What do you say we bring on Jimmy the King?
I say let's do it, guys. When we come back, we will be joined by the one and only Jimmy the King Sweeney. Let's go.
Luke Fuse from the Fuse UK. I've got a question for Connor. We've got two British legends up there on the table with you, Rico Franco and Jimmy Sweeney.
Yes, I'm Irish.
Well,
Yeah, the lad, that's it, go.
Fighting for the European title. What's your thoughts on that fight?
This is an incredible bout by two true bare-knucklers, two real bare-knuckle fighters, absolute experienced veterans. And, you know, it's a trilogy. It's the trilogy bout. So in the main event, we have a sequel, number 2, between Kamosi and Hunt. And in the co-main for the European welterweight title, the coveted European welterweight title, we have a trilogy bout between veterans of the sport, Jimmy Sweeney and Ricardo Franco. And we are very, very excited to see this one. It is one apiece. So this is the tiebreaker, and for all the marbles here in beautiful Italy. And, you know, both men are gentlemen and very friendly with each other and respectful. I came into an event last night to launch our ticket sales, and both men are sitting side by side with each other. And Jimmy is holding his child, and Ricardo is there with his lady, and it was so wholesome. And you cannot... I had to think to myself, how they are going to cut each other up with their bare knuckles. And it won't be the first, it's not the first time. It will actually be the third time. And they are sitting there in such good spirits and friendly nature. It's a testament to the warrior mentality of these men. These are fighting men, and I am honored, and I mean honored, to be up here promoting these men. And I cannot wait to see this bout take place. And I wish, you know, Ricardo, a friend of mine, Jimmy, I've just met, he's like, well, you got to be on my side, or I got to be on my side. Make no mistake, my respect is firmly down the center for all of our combatants, win, lose, or draw. You make this walk here in this company, you have my respect and my honor forever. And that's a fact.
There he is. Welcome to the show, a living legend, a true gangster in the sport, the king himself, Jimmy Sweeney. How are you, sir?
Very, very tired, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, I apologize for getting you up so at these. What time is it where you're at right now?
It's 2:05 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I have to set the alarm because I'm usually in bed about 9 o'clock sleep. So I have to set the alarm.
Yeah, that is the crappy. I mean, we don't get too many fighters from that side of the Atlantic Ocean on this show because it is always live, it's always uncensored, and it's always at 9 p.m. on a weeknight over here. So I apologize, but we do truly appreciate you giving us some of your time tonight. Like I said, you are royalty in the game for real. And like when they talk about people that have revolutionized the sport of bare knuckle, they can throw those words around, pioneer, revolutionary. But you really are truly one of those guys that changed the game. Once you stepped in there and you kind of refined the game of bare knuckle fighting, and I want to give you props for that. Would you agree on those statements there?
Yeah. I've been doing this 10 years now. And with me, it's like I've not just been doing it for 10 years, but I've been doing it at the top for 10 years. As the sport progressed, I've progressed with it. There's a lot of great guys that started the game when I started, and every one of them has fallen off. You know, what I mean, they've all probably reached their level. They've reached their ceiling, but I'm still going. I haven't really reached mine yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing this new journey I'm on and how far I can go in this.
One of the comments in the section says, Sweeney even fights sleep. Look at you at 2:05
Yeah,
a.m.
it's
fighting
bad.
sleep. We
Just-
appreciate you.
I don't think I'm going to win that battle.
You know what it is though, like, and people talk about your record and everything, but we heard you correct Cyrus Fees at the press conference there. Your box record only says 19 and 4, but the fact of the reality is that you have 33, 34 fights, bro.
33 professional fights. What happened was the box records only come in when you could start betting on the fights from a betting company. So I was 10 fights in at that stage. So they've only come in once the betting was allowed on the UK side. So that then took away. If you go on box records, it's like of 19 or whatever many fights I have. So there's 23 fights or something. So I have 10 less on the box rec than what I have on my record, which is a lot as well. So that's the only reason I did correct him, is because it's not like 1 or 2 fights. He's missed out on 10 fights. You know what I mean? If you look at 10 fights, a lot of fighters in the US don't even have 10 fights. You know what I mean? They're veterans at 10 fights, and I'm losing out on 10. So it's the only reason I corrected them.
It's wild. Mike, what do you think? What do you think about that there?
No, it's legit that that you correct them. What was it? Just the politics behind the sport over in the UK? They wouldn't allow the fights to be counted.
It's just something got to do with the betting companies or something with BoxRec. BoxRec come in.
The almighty dollar.
The betting companies come in or something, like it was something got to do with that. So they didn't count. They didn't count fights before you could bet on them. Something down those lines. It was daft as well because a lot of fighters are missing out on fights on the records.
That is crazy.
But all these fights that I've had, the 10 fights that are not on it, they're all documented. They're all on video. Like all my fights are documented. So there's not. I'm not putting in any fights or taking away. They're all documented. There are 33 professional fights.
It is insane. You have crazy numbers next to your name, tons of wins. And I got to tell you, man, a lot of people in the BKFC never thought, or in the BKFC fanhood here, all the fans over here, like never really thought they'd see the day that Jimmy Sweeney steps into a BKFC squared circle. We know that the BYB bought BKB. I believe they merged together or something like that. What was it? For the people that are watching at home, what was it about the merger or the sale or whatever that made you say, you know what, I think it's time I go over to the BKFC and try this one out instead?
Obviously, I was fighting for BKB. I did my whole career with one company. We've gone through different names of the company. I think it's 3 times I've swapped names, but they've sold up to BYB. And it was just a matter of so I've had to look at it like, right, where's my career going now? Do I go with BYB, or do I look at going somewhere else? And the obvious move was BKFC. It's a massive platform. It's the biggest bare knuckle promotion in the world. I've done everything I could do in the UK. I've won multiple world championships, multiple weight divisions, and just joining BYB didn't excite me. It's obvious. It's if you just look at the two companies, there's more excitement BKFC. The fans are there. The obviously the arenas are there. So
The
me,
fighters are there too, like
yeah, yeah,
the Austin
100%.
Trouts of the world, the Luis
Yeah,
Palominos of the world. They're all
yeah,
there.
100%. So obviously, I want to challenge myself, and it's just a better promotion to be at, and that's where you need to be as a top fighter in the world. You need to be the top promotion. So this is why I've chose to come to BKFC to challenge myself in the biggest organization in the world.
Well, as fate would have it, you're fighting somebody you've already fought twice. Now, when you come over, you're like, hey, I'm gonna be fighting in this new promotion. I
Yeah,
got this new journey ahead of
yeah,
me. Were
yeah.
you banking on fighting Rico Franco for the
Mm,
third time? Or did you know that was
No,
gonna happen? Or was that just like,
no,
oh
I'm not.
shit,
Not
what the
look.
hell?
When I've come over, I've said, look, I want new challenges. I want to test myself against the best that America has. And I think we were in talks with a guy called Gogo Sylvesky or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yes. Yep.
Gogo.
Gogo Slavetsky was a
Former champ.
former 165-pound champion there. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. We were in talks with him for the European title. Um, but whatever reason, for whatever reason, he's pulled out of the fight or couldn't make it happen on his side. My side was a simple plain yes, I'll fight anyone. That's me. But as time progressed, there was little bits of coming up why he couldn't fight, and there was different excuses. I don't know what they are, but overall the fight never happened. So then I got a call saying, "Well, what about Rico Franco?" And I said, "I'm not really. It doesn't interest me. Like the fight doesn't. I've done it already. It doesn't interest me." And we went, "Right, what about European title? There's history there. There's 1-1. We can build this to a massive fight." And I just went, sounds good to me. Let's get it on.
At that
Yeah,
point, did you know that it was going to be in Italy on this massive card at the time
yeah,
that
yeah.
they offered it to you?
I knew the fight would have been in Italy.
Okay.
Of the reason why I'm fighting in Italy is because obviously I'm supposed to be stuck in some contract until the 10th of April. So this is why I'm on the Italy show, and I haven't fought before the 10th of April. So I knew it was the Italy show. Um, I knew it was for a European title. My thoughts were that it was this go lad. He's 6-0. We've been a good fight. And then the Franco come in, and I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't see that one coming. But
Yeah.
it makes absolute sense when there's history there. It's 1-1. And it's massive. It's a massive fight worldwide, but especially over this side, it's absolutely massive. And to have it in Italy on the first shows, it's a massive fight to have there.
Right. And do you know the background of Gogo? Like, you're aware that he was undefeated with the company, won the title, and then took a fight for Karate Combat
Yeah,
and it kind of like rubbed them the wrong way, so they took the belt off of him. But we had recently spoke to Gogo, and he did tell us that he was in conversations about coming back. He didn't tell us who they were talking to him about possibly fighting. So this is news to us and to everybody watching. So that is cool. Maybe one day you will get that fight down the road. But Rico Franco,
I've in my head, I have a three fight plan in my head, and that's the start off of that. That is Rico Franco in Italy European title. I'm going to be looking for whoever's the number 1, number 2 seed, and then I'm coming for the world champion. So unless these people have a title, and I'm not pushed. Gogo's had his chance.
okay,
To me, he's had his chance. European title, massive fight to come back against one of the biggest names in the sport, and he for whatever reason he's blew his chance. So I'm not even going to give him a second thought. To be fair.
I think everybody is familiar with your first 2 fights with Rico, and when you first fought Rico, I don't know if were you super familiar with Rico the first time you fought him? Because when you go back and watch those, it looks like you may not have I don't know, like The second fight, we'll just skip to the second one. The second one was a fucking masterpiece. You looked like you were the guy that you are. You know what I mean? Like you ran through Rico in the second one. So what was the difference between the first one and the second one? You just hadn't really known too much about him in the first one?
No, look, Rico's a great fighter. He's a good friend of mine. But look, the first fight I had massive issues with weight cutting. It's easy. I fucked up really on the weight cut bad. I think I did like about 4 kilos the morning of the fight, because back then it's the same day weigh, and it's not like the day before. You have the day before, so I'm messed up bad with the weight cut. And it's just made me weak. You can tell every time I got punched, my face just kept opening up because it was so drained. I was just so drained on the fight. And even though I was winning the fight, there was nothing in me. And every time I got hit, I was just opening up, and I got stopped due to a cut.
Yeah.
So obviously, with the second fight, then I've done everything properly and done the camp properly, did the weight cut properly, and I've come in an absolute different fighter. I've come in, as you said, the fighter that I am, and not from the fighter from the first fight.
Yeah, that second one. Will this fight against Rico the third time around be the first time you do a day before weigh-in?
Yeah,
every one of your fights up until now was same day weigh-ins.
Yeah, that's why I used to fight at 90 kilos, because it was a fat shit.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean, for a guy like yourself, do you look forward do you look forward to the fact that you get a whole day of recovery after you weigh in this time?
I've never done it. I've never done it, so I don't know what to expect or look forward to it. It's going to be different. This is why I've decided to come down to the 165, because the day before weigh-in, if it wasn't the day before, I would have been the 175. So I'm looking forward to the process of how it all works and how I'm going to be come fight night. Like, I've never done it before, but a lot of people are telling me, Jimmy, you're going to be an absolute animal coming into that ring like 36 hours after, like fueling up, like you're going to be an absolute beast. So I am looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I can just imagine the difference that there's gonna be, because like weight cutting is rough even the day before. I think it's still rough for people. Have a lot of trouble cutting weight with 24 hours. Never mind the day of. And man, I don't know. It's gonna be a hell of a difference though, for sure.
Most of my fights, I used to like lose like 3-4 kilograms, like about 8-9 pounds a day of the fight, and then tried to refuel as best I could and fight. And with the lower weights, I was never at my best, because over that I was always drained. So I'm really looking forward to this one and testing out and see how seeing the difference from my previous fights, where I've had day off, to this one now where it's the day before. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully it leads me to put on a great performance and bring the European title home.
That is really crazy to think that you are about to be in your 34th pro bare knuckle fight, and this is the first time you get a full 24 hours, 30 hours to freaking rehydrate. I can't imagine what you're going to look like the night of this fight. We're all looking forward to that one. We saw you in Marbella, Spain for the BKFC Spain event, which was incredible. Like, I want to ask you your thoughts on that event first, but you were there taking a look at Rico and Austin Trout, right? Like those are the guys that were in your division there.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the production of the event in Spain, and what'd you think about their fight?
Like it was next level. To be fair, I've been to a lot of bare knuckle shows, but I've never been to one with that production on, and like it absolutely blew me away. And I won't lie. Like at one point, I think the prelim was on, and I looked around, and there was a lot of seats still there, and I thought they kind of messed up here, They kind of messed up here. But then once the main car got on, and I looked around, and it was absolutely packed, packed, and
Yeah.
it just literally just blew me away, and I just went, wow. And at that time, that's when I knew I made the right decision to come over to the BKFC. From the production to the fans to everything, it was absolutely next level, next level.
Yeah,
And
it was insane. That's probably one of the best shows that we've ever been to. We've been to a lot of BKFC
Yeah.
events. There's been some really good ones. And even after that Spain event, we went to Knucklemania 5 recently, which was
and
it was
Philly, yeah.
huge, and it was crazy that there was 17,000, and all 17,762 people showed up because that place was filled at prelims. Like the first prelim fight, I bet you there was 50% of the people there. It was
Wow.
crazy.
And
However, the Spain event was like, in my
that was
opinion,
different. Yeah, it was
nicer, like better.
different. Like wow, it's absolutely unbelievable. And everyone, the fights was unbelievable. There was some great fights on the night. Rico's fight with Trout. Trout's a very good fighter. Like he's a WBC world champion, I think. He's world champion for a reason. He's very very good, but like he hasn't fought anyone near my caliber in bare knuckle. Yeah, like, and that's no disrespect to the boys, but uh, I'm a complete different animal than what they are, and it's only a matter of time before that fight's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and before we move on from that Spain event, the main event of Marbella, Spain, like you were there in the audience. You felt the energy that was going
Yeah.
on in that building when when
Yeah,
Tenaglia and Soto
yeah.
were throwing down. And you've been in a lot of wars yourself, and you've been around the sport for a long time. Had you seen? What would you say about that Soto Tenaglia fight? Because we were there 20 feet from the ring,
Yeah.
and I feel like I was feeling an energy that I had never felt in a crowd before. It was fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
As a spectator, I thought, wow, what an absolute crazy fight. This is absolute mad. As a fighter, I thought, I hope I'm never in a fight like this. I hope I'm
Yeah,
never in a
absolutely.
fight like this. This is mad. Two of them will come out, and like you wouldn't even recognize them after. And like I think their boxing went out the window after the second round. They just lost all boxing skill and just swung like fuck at each other, and just it was mental. But what a fight! What hearts! Like
Absolutely.
I've seen people quit like on fights not as half as extreme as that. You know what I mean? And they would have gone all night if you give them extra rounds. They would have fought extra rounds. Like the
What
hell
I love
on the two of them.
what I loved about that fight, because it was in Spain, Franco Tenaglia had the crowd, right? Like the crowd was booing Soto as he was walking onto the ring, and they were cheering Tenaglia.
Yeah,
As the fight was going on, the crowd was cheering just as loud for both
yeah.
men.
For
By the
two.
end of that, it was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. There was no losers really, and obviously you got to lose it. But
Yeah.
as you said, when he come in, he was getting booed. As he left, he was cheering. Like, you know what I mean? There's when you lose a fight like that, it's you don't really take it as a loss. Like, you know what I mean? It was just fucking absolutely different level. Not their boxing skill or anything. That the boxing skill went down. It's just their heart and their will to put everything on the line for that world title. And again, it shows how big the BKFC is when you're putting your health at risk for that world title. And that's what they've done. They've give everything that night.
Well, man, we are excited to see what you do in this company. Like you mentioned, we know you're fighting Rico. We know that you said you're going to go for the next top guy before you head for a title shot, but we want to see you fight Austin Trout. We want to see you maybe fight, Luis Palomino at some point, or maybe even go up to 175 and fight Dave Mundell. There's so much talent in the BKFC, and you're one of the best to ever do it. So it's something that we all like as a fan, we all like fucking dream of this kind of shit. Before we finish up with you, though, you are an Irish bare knuckle fighter. You are signed with the BKFC now, and they do in the last year have a new partial owner of the company who you were sitting 2 seats over from at that press conference, who's also an Irishman. Conor McGregor is part of this business, and you saw it in Spain. You saw how big the events get, and they're just going to keep getting bigger. How incredible would it be when the BKFC brings an event to Ireland and you get to do this in front of your home people?
Yeah, it's going to be massive, to be fair, and hopefully I'm in a position then where I'm either world champion or I'm challenging for the world title, and we could bring that fight back to Ireland. It'd be absolutely massive, and even just with Conor's name, and we'll sell out any stadium in Dublin just on his name and the BKFC. But like, we need to get the fights and to bring a world title fight home to Ireland. Like, I've done this. I'm in this game 10 years. I'm 33 fights in. So for me to have a world title fight back home in Ireland, that'll be the highlight of my career.
Absolutely. I would imagine that's like what every fighter dreams of, is being able, especially doing it for a decade at the top of the game. Not a lot of people do any sport for a decade and stay at the top of the game. You know what I mean?
Only the very stupid ones do bare knuckle for that long.
It's absolutely incredible. And the people that aren't familiar with you that are watching right now, like, they're going to have to go look you up, because those numbers are mind boggling. When BKFC's only been around for 6 years over here. And like you said, the ones that have the most fights are Lorenzo Hunt with 12 and, Britton Hart with 11 or 12. That is a third of what you've done. Yeah. So it really is.
I've done that the first year.
Right. It's fucking wild. So we all look forward to you, doing your thing here. We have an audience question asking if you would run a third one with Julian Lane. Does that interest you?
Doesn't interest me. Fair play to Julian. He's doing very well now. He's in I think he's won like 3 or 4 fights, right? Stuff like that. But yeah, 4 fights. But again, it doesn't interest me. I haven't come over to BKFC to fight guys that I fought years ago. The only reason I'm fighting Ricardo Franco is because the European title is on the line. Don't get me wrong, if Julian Lane was a world champion, I'd be coming for that. But as of now, the fight doesn't interest me. I have my path set up in my head, and I'm going to stick to that path, and he's not on that. But again, I wish him all the best in his career, and if I'm world champion and he puts himself forward for that, or gets in line for that, or he's world champion, then yeah. But if there's no title, there's no point.
Understood. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on so late where you're at right now. We appreciate your time. Everybody's a huge fan of yours. Anybody that watches the sport knows what you are and who you are and what you've done. So we appreciate you. We have David Round coming on. He just put it in the comment section a few minutes ago. He said it's just an honor to be on the same episode as Jimmy Sweeney. So you are respected by by your fellow fighter and the fans. You get the same amount of respect. It's very awesome to have you on here. Do you have anything you want to say to the BKFC fans or to the brass before we let you go, man?
Yeah, I just obviously I just can't wait to get started, and just to show the BKFC fans that just to show them what bare knuckle is all about, and show them this 6-time world champion coming for the 7th world title, and just show them what an absolute legend that I am, and I look forward to fighting in front of them.
Incredible,
Hell yeah.
Jimmy. It's not very often you can actually say that you talk to like a living legend in a sport. You know what I mean? There's only certain like LeBrons and Michael Jordans and Tom Brady's out there, and like you've done it at the top for a decade. So we appreciate your time, Mike. Do you have anything else for Jimmy the King?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for coming on, Jimmy. It definitely is an honor to have you on the show. Everybody who's watching, make sure that you are tuned in on April 26th when BKFC makes its way to Italy. I mean, it's not quite Ireland, right, Jimmy? But it'll do for now. It's Italy, right? It's going to be nice.
It's the start of an amazing journey with myself and BKFC.
So Franco versus Sweeney, the rubber match, right? You got one more, and then he's on to other people. No more same people fights, just for the title, right? And then after that, you're going for what? The Austin Trouts and the Trinidad Snakes and the rest of the division.
Whoever's world champion. So obviously Franco fight. Yeah, I gotta win these fights. That's the main thing. I've got to win these fights. If I lose, there won't be no title fight. So European title, number 1, number 2, and then world title. Because I don't want. First of all, I don't want to come in and be going, I want to need a world title fight. There's a lot of good fighters in the division, and a lot of them they deserve their title shot. So I don't mind having 2 fights and then a world title shot. I'm not one of these fighters that's trying to demand things and this and that. You know what I mean? My first fight. I'm going to show why I'm coming for that world title.
Awesome.
Well, it's very honorable. We definitely are very happy to have you in the BKFC now. It's been a long time coming, but it's much overdue, and we're going to see it. We are going to see it in April. Thank you so much. Everybody stay tuned. When we come back, we will be joined by David one more round. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Take
Have a
care.
good
Go
night.
Get some sleep, man.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye-bye.
I'm into this game, yeah. We be into this, yeah. Hey, your man, no, but we've already the belt. How am I at the showing up here already, and I've already got the belt? Come get it, baby. Come get the strap, baby. Fuck is this, baby? Yes. Yeah, let's make a date. Let's set a date. Who's gonna stop me, man to man? No one's gonna stop me. David, make the date. Let's do it. I'm down for the bro, yeah. I'm down for the bro. Let's go, man. Let's fucking do it. Hey, please.
I was walking out of the arena. Connor actually tapped me on the shoulder, and he told me to make sure that I tell everybody that he's fighting Jeremy Stevens in BKFC. That's what he said. I don't know if it's happening. I'm telling you, Connor just told me that.
I just got a call. I haven't seen it anywhere. Conor McGregor has been greenlit to compete in bare knuckle fighting. So, what do you make of that?
I'm up here. If you think I'm up here giving these speeches and leading these men into battle, and I won't step in there myself, think again. For sure, Conor McGregor will fight in bare knuckle fighting championship. Mark my words.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. There he is, the gangster Prince of Wales himself. Hey, what do you think of that little video montage right there? Do you think that Conor McGregor is actually going to fight in the sport that you do and love? What do you say?
Yeah, I think he's got to. You know, he's come into this and he's putting a lot of money. He's still young. You know, he's younger than me. So why shouldn't he? You know, he was best in the world at MMA. So. I think bare knuckle would be a perfect transition for him. Like I find with a lot of MMA guys, that it's the perfect transition after MMA. It is bare knuckle.
All right, absolutely. I can't wait to see if that happens. When Uncle Chael's talking about it, you got to think that it's probably on the horizon, right? So,
yeah,
hey.
When the American gangster talks, you got to listen.
Absolutely. When the American gangster talks, but we are here talking to the gangster Prince of Wales himself, David, one more round. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you for coming on tonight. And we had to get you on because you are about to make your 7th trip to the BKFC Squared Circle. You've been around for a minute and you put on entertaining fights every time you're out there. So welcome to the show, and it's good to have you back.
Yes. So it's my 7th bare knuckle. It's my 5th time with BKFC.
A 5th time.
Yeah.
Were you on Toe the Line? Did they do Toe the Line events in?
Yeah, I did.
In Europe?
I did 2 on BFBA, which was Andrew Bakewell's promotion before he joined with the BKFC. So technically, yes, this will be with the BKFC.
Unbelievable. And last time, we haven't seen you in almost a year. Last time you fought was against Danny Christie, and we all know the fucking monster that dude is. You went out there. You went out there. It was a tough night for you, but you know everybody's entertained by you every time you go out there. The fight before, you fucking knocked out Terry Brazier with an awesome couple right hands right to the freaking chin or to the mouth, whatever that was. So we know that you're going to come out here in Manchester in a couple weeks and do the same damn thing. First of all, what time is it where you're at right now?
So it's 2:37, but I work nights, and I got home about 10 to 2. So for me, this is daytime. So it's okay for me.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
No, I meant to be in work till 6, but I work on HEVs. I take whey to a protein company, and I bring milk back. And if there's no runs for us, we get to go home and pay till 6. So most nights I'm home by this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, when we talk to fighters from Europe, we usually don't get that answer. So I'm glad you're already up at this time, because we usually feel a little bit bad about getting everybody up at fucking 2:30 in the morning.
No, it's fine for me. Like I do 4 nights on, and then I have 4 nights off, but I even try and stay awake on my nights off, so it keeps me in the swing. It works out perfect for training, so I can train in the morning, and then I can get sleep all day, and then train before going to work.
Does that fuck you up when it comes to like fight weekend? You know what I mean? Like, are you? I don't know. I guess not. So, what time do you usually go into work?
So I go in at about 5:30 at night. Start at 6,
nice.
and then
Perfect.
6. But I'm really. I did like 9 months of nights before, but I didn't have a fight because we had COVID on. So I'll have the week before the fight off, so I'll get used to. But yeah, I'm awake at 5 o'clock in the evening, or say 4:30. So yeah, I'm full of energy throughout the night. So come 9-10 o'clock at night when I'm going to fight, I'll be ready to go. Where people will be wanting to go to bed.
You'd be bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, but I'll be on top of the wall.
That's perfect, man. Now, the amount of fights that you have under your belt, I don't think a lot. I think a lot of people that watch the BKFC see that you fought 6 going on 7 times in bare knuckle, but I don't think they all really know how much fighting experience you have under your belt. You have almost 50 pro MMA fights, but you have like almost 100 pro fights, right?
Yeah, I've got so this will be my 96th fight coming up. So I've had 95 pro. That's bare knuckle, MMA, boxing, K1, kickboxing, unlicensed boxing, stuff like that.
96.
Yeah, so this will be I'm 59 and 36. 59 wins, 36 losses.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane, dude.
And that's from like I've done lightweight to heavyweight in MMA. All different weights with kickboxing and boxing. So anything from 155 up to heavyweight.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
All right. So with all the fight experience that you've had and in MMA and K1 kickboxing, and what is it about bare knuckle boxing that keeps bringing you back?
I'm coming to the end of my career, so I'm going to do 100 and retire, and the plan is to do my 100th fight on BKFC 100. But I can't do another 5 bare knuckle. My body won't let me. I'm 38, and 95 pro fights takes out of you. So what I'm looking at doing is doing this one now in Manchester. Probably doing another one this year on the BKFC. I've got an MMA fight I want to do, and a boxing fight, which will bring me up to like that 98, 99 mark, and then do another 2 at BKFC. That's the plan.
So you want to fight on BKFC 100? Have you let them know? Have you said, listen, Nate, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I spoke to Tony. Tony is our new manager.
Okay, yeah,
and he's going to put it to Nate, and that's the plan. That'll be my perfect way to finish my career. BKFC 100th fight, wherever it is, Miami, Philadelphia, wherever they put it.
Wherever it is, you're there. But they better put you on the card now. They should just write you in, I think, right now. That way you're just holding the spot.
Yeah, BKFC 100 fight works out perfect for me, and it's next year, I'm guessing. So it gives me time to build up those 3 fights I need outside of the promotion in boxing and MMA, just to get up to there.
David, what is your age? Because BoxRec says you're 38. BKFC's website says you're 37. 38?
I'm 38. Yeah, 38.
38 years old with 95 fucking pro fights under your belt.
I think you got another 94 at least.
Well,
That's
I'm
wild,
going to
man.
do 100, but then should I really leave it on 100? Should I do 101?
It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I think you got another 94, 95 left. I can see it. Yeah. 38. You got, just another 3 years. Just pack them in 3 years. You could do another 94.
I'll look at BKFC 200 and get my 200s on there.
Yeah. You just keep popping up every 100 fights. They're like, oh, David Round, he's here again.
Yeah, BKFC 500 when I'm 60. But I've been fighting since 2008 was my first fight in MMA.
2008.
So I've done
like 16 and a half
the
years.
2000, the 2010s, and the 20s. So I fought over 3 decades.
Right.
Yeah.
So prior to starting this 100 fight professional career, did you just grow up in the streets fighting? Like, what is it about? What is it about fighting that you grew to love so much that you wanted to do it so often and so much?
I played rugby for 33 years as well. So obviously I'd fight on the pitch, and I just love that thing of fighting. I love that, the thing of, 1-to-1, hand-to-hand, and then afterwards it's all set and done. There's no beef afterwards. I'm never one to hold a grudge after a fight. I'd happily have a fight with you in the street and buy you a pint straight afterwards. It's done. I think that's one of the most, biggest rushes you can get is to have a fight with someone.
Yeah, I think everybody in the world should get into a fight at some point in their life.
Yeah.
And when I meet somebody that has never been into a fight, that has never gotten punched in the face or punched somebody in the face, it really, and maybe it's just like, because like, I don't know, Mike and I kind of like went to the same kind of high schools, and like we hung around the same kind of people, and like people fought all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
I got punched in the face just playing basketball for no reason at all, because I got a rebound and someone punched me in the face. Like, that's how easy fighting starts.
Yeah, basketball's like a non-contact sport, isn't it? You can't do anything like that in basketball.
Yeah, somebody punched me directly in the face, like right immediately. I got the fucking rebound. I turn around, boom, right in the face. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's like a rugby game. You're on the bottom. You're on the bottom of the ruck, and you're getting stamped on with rugby boots, and then someone gets up and lays somebody out, and then all of a sudden there's 15 on 15 men fighting on a rugby pitch. Yeah, and then afterwards you're all sitting and have a beer, and I think it's the best thing you can do in life is have a fight.
Some of the closest friends I had growing up, through my teenage years, I made friends with them after we fought each other.
Yeah, it's same with me. I've fought many people in my career, and I like to Lee Gahoon, I'm very good friends with, who I've beaten twice. Me and Danny are very good friends. He's cornering me when I fight in Manchester. There's so many people that I fought. Andrew DeVent, I fought him 3 times in MMA. He invited me and my wife to his wedding, and he's 6 hours away in Manchester. I've made better friends through fighting than I have around where I live.
Did you give a speech at the wedding too? Did you tell everyone how you made?
No.
You called for a rematch right there on the dance floor.
Well, yeah, actually, we were 1-1 at the time. I beat him. Then he beat me, and then we rearranged our 3rd fight at his wedding.
No shit.
Yeah,
you're telling the truth. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Right
now,
I used to be a banquet manager, right? And I actually saw the bride's father fight the best man, fist fight on the dance floor. It was chaos. They just were on the dance floor. All the waiters and waitresses are clearing the tables at this wedding. People are dancing. And then from the side room, like there was a bar around the corner, you see one guy backing up. The other guy's coming forward. They're punching. They're going into the crowd of people dancing. So, you know, a couple of my friends worked for me. They would come running to break the fight up when really I think they just wanted to be part of the action. I don't think they really cared about breaking the fight up. I think they just want to be part of the action.
Yeah.
So they go running. So I go running, and they're trying to break it up. And the guy turns around, starts swinging at one of the waiters. They start swinging. Everybody gets tackled into the plants. Everything breaks. People are screaming. They're in, you know, this is a fucking wedding, okay? Like people going nuts, all right? Just imagine chaos everywhere.
If there's a fight at the wedding, it's a good wedding. And if you go to a funeral and there's a fight, that's usually a good fucking funeral as well.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but I can tell you that that was it. It was over at that point. I think it was about 11 o'clock at night. They had
wedding was over.
Wedding over. Wedding over. The ambulances came, police came, the people were in hysterics. It was insane. And I was just there afterwards, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, because now I have to collect money from these people. You know what I mean? Like, I had to talk to them. Yeah, oh, you got to still pay, though, you know? So
I wonder if the marriage is still, I wonder if the husband and wife are still together.
That's what you need to find out.
I don't know, man. The bride's father and the best man, they hated each other, and people told me that they got into like a fight, not a fist fight, at the dinner the night before the rehearsal dinner, that they were arguing and shit.
Oh, so it was brewing. It was like the rehearsal dinner was the weigh-ins, and then they threw down at the fucking wedding.
We're talking a 60-something-year-old man and like a 20-year-old guy. You know what I'm saying?
But who won?
I don't know, because we interfered, you know, and then it became us versus them, kind of.
So the crowd won. That's as long as the fans win. That's all.
Everybody won, David. Everyone won that day. And the boss took us all in the room afterwards, the owner actually, and he was like, "What the hell's wrong with you guys? Next time that happens, you don't fucking join the fight. You just walk away and you call the cops. Let's let them fight it out. Like, are you guys nuts? We're gonna get sued." They didn't get sued, but
no, get involved.
Fighting
solves everything, you know. It does. I think fighting. They should do it in schools. Like, you look at Russia and all. You know, you've got Russian kids do boxing, don't they? You know, I think boxing is one of their PE lessons or their sport lessons.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Wrestling. I mean, there are also wrestlers out there, right? Isn't Russian? Yeah. Russia's huge in wrestling as well. What is your What is your main background? I mean, obviously you're a boxer because you box professionally, but you fought professional MMA too. So, like, what is your favorite of the combat sports? You throw hands for a living now, but jiu-jitsu, kickboxing.
No. Out of my 59 wins and however many MMA wins I got, only one was by submission.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The gym I started out was a kickboxing gym. Graham Brockway is a world kickboxing champion. So K1 and kickboxing is my background basically. But I had no background going into my first fight. It was 6 weeks training straight from a rugby pitch, and I could just brawl.
So you weren't even like a trained fighter before 6 weeks out of your first fight?
I started fighting at 21 years old, and I
straight off the rugby pitch, right? You call it a pitch or a field? Yeah, right off the rugby pitch field.
One of the guys I knew had started it, and I played rugby against him, and he was like, "Right, you should come to the gym." They'd had like a couple of it was semi-pro fights back then, so it was like two 4-minute rounds, but no headshots on the ground and no knees and stuff. So I had like a 6 weeks training with him, only 2 nights a week, and jumped into my first fight with the Royal Marine and broke his arm by slamming him and dislocating his elbow.
Wow.
And it went from there. It's on YouTube. I can send it to you if you want to watch it.
Yes.
Nice.
Very young.
Did you just picture him with a rugby ball in his hand and just fucking slam him?
A lot of my MMA fights, I've got huge slams in from playing rugby, like big rugby, like we put, up and upside down, massive slams.
David, I'm sure Mike has seen these, but I'm going to ask you, have you guys ever seen those rugby videos of the girl rugby players that like pick each other up by the shorts? Have you ever seen this?
Yeah, we're lifting the line out. So.
Okay, well, these girls on the internet that are doing it are like jacking the shorts up their ass and they don't have any underwear on underneath. Is that normal on a fucking rugby field?
That's gross.
Yeah, like we do that in the line out. So like when they do like a throw in from the side, you lift them up to catch the ball. But if you're not wearing any shorts underneath, your bollocks hang out. So you got to wear some some tight undershorts. Like or speedo or something.
So they're doing it to get the clicks from me and Mike. Is what they're doing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
right?
Yeah, just after the likes.
Hey man, simping ain't easy.
Simping ain't easy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Your next fight. Let's get back to this one. Liam Dooley. We don't know anything about him. You can tell us about him, but your last fight that we saw you in was against Danny Christie at 185 pounds. This one's going to be at 165, correct?
Yeah. So I had a really bad year last year. Before I fought that, I was really ill. Like I couldn't get any water in. I was spewing for days and days. It was stress related and stuff, and that like I couldn't rehydrate or anything. So obviously the punches Danny threw at me really fucking shocked me. So I used to walk around like 195, but it was a lot of fat. I've got no fat in me now, and I'm walking around at like 178, 180 at the most. So 165 is like I'll diet to about 173, and then I'll do a water cut, which will be easy for me. But yeah, I'm fucking ripped. I'm still got massive arms and stuff like that, but yeah, I've got no fat in me anymore. I've shredded right down them, and I feel a lot better for it.
What's the change? Did you just like change the way you're eating? Stop
No,
drinking?
I was ill. I was ill.
What are you
I had a lot of shit going on last year with personal stuff, and I lost a lot of weight. I'd have days and days where I was just sick with anxiety and stuff like that, and I just spew and just lost it. I went down to 150, I think 152 pound. I went down to from 195.
Holy
wow!
shit.
I went. So the week before Danny, I was 193, I think it was. Within 4 days, I dropped down to like 181 just from being sick, and I just couldn't put it back on. I shouldn't have taken a fight, but I couldn't. I wouldn't pull out of it. Yeah, I was really bad for it, really ill.
Damn, that's
we're
unfortunate.
just being sick. Like, was it like something major, or was it?
I had a stomach ulcer. I had a stomach ulcer, which I kept blaming, but then I said I had a lot of personal stuff going on afterwards. I had like a little bit of I was in trouble a bit, and since all that's been dropped, I've been fine. I haven't been sick. I put weight back on. I put like fucking 20 odd pound back on. So it was a lot of stress related and stuff like that.
Stress will kill you, dude. Stress will fuck you up.
And I never believed that until the whole incident got thinged and everything was sorted. And then I realized after about a month, thought, fucking hell, I've been sick for a while. Because I was, like I said, I was putting it down to my stomach ulcer, so I wasn't eating fatty food. I wouldn't eat red meat because I thought the fat was kicking the ulcer off. I had a fried egg one day. I spewed for 3 days afterwards. So I thought it was, in my head, it was stuff like that, but it wasn't. It was the stress and the anxiety of fucking what was happening on in my life. And as soon as all the problems got sorted, like that, so it was October last year, everything was sorted. And since then, I have been sick. I said I put 151 to, so I put like 25, nearly 30 pound back on in the last 6 months. I feel amazing for it. I've got no stress, no anxiety. And yeah, like I said, stress will kill you. And I wasn't the person who believed that.
No, I 100% believe that. And like my mother, she might be watching, or she might watch this tomorrow, and maybe she'll get mad at me for talking about this. But you know what? When my mother, a few years back, my grandfather was very old. He was like high 90s. He was 95, 96, 97. And he was super old, right? So he's like, his health's deteriorating. He's living with my mom and dad, and my mom has to take care of him like he's a fucking toddler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can tell that like her dad, slowly dying, and she was having issues with like other family members, and like she was drinking to get over like all the stress. And it was fucking whittling away on my mother's health to the point where we were telling her, you are going to die if you don't fucking knock this shit off. The stress is killing you. The drinking to cope with the stress is killing you. And my grandfather has since passed away, and like the people in my family have their shit together now. So my mom's health has done a 180. She's put weight on. She's moved down to
Yeah.
Florida. Her and my dad are like living it up at the beach, and she's healthy now. And the reason, I think the 100% reason is she don't have any fucking stress anymore. It's over.
Yeah,
Like stress
you know,
is gone. It's
Yeah.
incredible, right?
yes, your grandfather passing away is probably the reason why she's now not stressed and stuff. Which, yeah, and I say I was never one to believe that there was a thing like stress or you could worry about things so much it would make you that ill. But looking back, yes, you fucking can. So if anyone is ever stressed or anything like that, please go and get fucking help or go and speak to someone about it, because it will fucking kill you or it will ruin your life. It fucked my life up last year from February
David.
last year till like October. Fuck me up.
Mike and I are both full time for the United States Army, right? We work for the Army National Guard. So
Yeah.
like I have 20 something years in, he's got 16, 17 years in, right? 17, 16 years, Mike?
Almost
You get a lot of
17.
almost
16 and a
17
half.
years. So between the two of us, we have had to deal with people not dealing with their depression and their stress and this and that. And
Yeah, I know.
it leads to tragedy way too often.
Yeah.
So what you just said a minute ago, like anybody out there that has stress, cope with that shit. Like talk
Yeah,
to someone and
don't-
get help for it,
Don't
because it'll
fucking
fucking
bottle
kill
up.
you.
Don't think you can cope with it. Don't fucking think, oh, it's nothing. It'll just pass. It fucking won't.
Yeah,
It
it'll
doesn't
get to
until-
you, man.
Yeah.
It'll.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy that you're healthy, you're back, you got the stress
Yeah.
out of your life, and now you're walking around at a healthier weight, and you're fighting at more of a. I would imagine 165 is probably more of a natural fight weight for you, right?
165 is going to be like I'm old. I'm 38, so like I used to cut to 170 a few years ago, and that was it. So, but with only being 13 pound over, I think I'll get to it easily. But I'm looking at doing 175 for my between 170 and 175 would be perfect weight for me. I'm taking the 165 one because I think I can do it, and it's a fight. So, and plus, I get to fight Conor Tierney if
Right.
if you want it.
Absolutely. And we just talked to Jimmy Sweeney. Like, can you
Yeah,
imagine like getting an opportunity? He's an older guy too. He's been through it
Yeah.
all. You've been through it all. Maybe, and like you said it right in the comment section. It's an honor to even be on the same episode as him. Jimmy's a
Yeah,
legend. Hey, maybe
Yeah.
you get one or two fights under your belt, and you guys meet at a 175 or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be an honor to be jumping in with Jimmy. I'm glad he's come over from that other promotion. There's not many guys in that other promotion I think will make it in the BKFC. I think Jack Marshall would. I think Gareth Williams would come over, two Welsh boys, and obviously Jimmy. But Jimmy's a legend of the sport, and to have done 30 fights, was it? 30 bare knuckle.
The upcoming one with Rico will be his 34th pro bare knuckle fight.
Like you don't do that many bit. Like I don't think Jimmy had an MMA background or anything before, did he?
No.
But what I've found is, you need an MMA background of about five years or so, and fights in MMA and boxing before you become a bare knuckle fighter. It's a very short career, I think, with bare knuckle, unless you're lucky like Jimmy Sweeney. But yeah, I think bare knuckle guys 10 at the most is what I think a lot of guys will do, and I couldn't imagine starting my career without having bare knuckle, without doing MMA or K1 or boxing before it. I don't think you can just jump into this as your, as the start of your career, because I think you'll have a very short career.
Yeah, he's like an anomaly, right? He's the only other. No, maybe not. I was going to say Kai Stewart, Mike. He didn't have any pro MMA fights prior to fighting for BKFC, right? He took MMA fights once he started his professional career. Was with the BKFC, so he became a pro fighting bare knuckle, and then after a couple bare knuckle fights, he did take some MMA fights, I believe, but. Like you said, there's not a lot of guys out there like that start their career in this sport.
I couldn't imagine being 21 years old and starting bare knuckle and having the career I've had. I've done fucking else. I've done heavyweight MMA tournaments in Denmark where I fought Volkan Oezdemir in the final. Like I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have. I couldn't imagine my bare knuckle career being like that at all. Like I said, it'll be my 7th fight next. I can probably do 3 more at a push. But then I've had 90 odd fights before. So I do think you need that boxing or MMA background. Just, getting hit is different, conditioning your face and having the wars in MMA, I think has helped me with my bare knuckle career.
To go back to Kai Stewart, he did have some MMA, but amateur, and then he jumped into bare knuckle pro.
Yeah, you need something, because it's a massive, like, I couldn't imagine having my first fight as a bare knuckle fight. Your nerves are bad enough as they are, when you're having your first fight, and that was an MMA for me fucking 17 years ago. So I couldn't imagine jumping in, this is your first fight and you're doing a bare knuckle one. That's a massive fucking thing to do. It's
crazy. It's such a great sport too. I mean, like you said, you're not going to see many guys like Jimmy Sweeney with 30 something fucking bare knuckle fights, but there's a reason why a lot of these fighters do come back after. Me and Mike have talked to so many fighters that, like, before the fight, we talk to them and they're like, we'll ask them, are you going to stick around, or are you, is this something that you want to do now? Well, I don't know. I'm going to try out this one and see how it goes. After the fight, they're like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it again. I love this shit. This shit is fun as fuck. It's probably the funnest combat sport I've ever done in my life. And that's why so many of them do take 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can understand that. But, if you want a long career, if you're starting out at 21 or 18, you're not going to have a very long career if it's all bare knuckle. I think, after 10, the damage, the cuts and shit like that, by 23, 24, your career is fucking over. I think I'll have those first couple of years of MMA and boxing, maybe do 1 bare knuckle and then do a few MMA. And then after your 3 or 4 years, then start your BKFC or bare knuckle, career, do your 10, 15 fights, whatever. But like to Jimmy Sweeney, he's something else.
What can you tell us about Liam Dooley, your upcoming opponent? Because we're not familiar with him. He's making his debut, so I don't know his background, to be honest with you. What can you tell us about your opponent?
He fought on my undercard when I knocked out Lee Cahoon in 2013. He fought amateur. I think from what I've seen, he's had like 6 amateur MMA. Hasn't fought for about 6 or 7 years, from what I quickly looked at. So that is all I know about him. From what I watched, he's got the quickest amateur knockout or something in the UK. And from what I've seen from his fights, he's a wrestler. So whether the last 6 years he's been just boxing or whatever, I'm not too sure. Honestly, all I know is he fought on my undercard in 2013. That's it. That's all I know about him.
Yeah, there's not too much.
12 years ago, so
no, there's not a lot about him.
No, he has a bunch of not a bunch, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 amateur fights, 2 cancellations.
Yeah, and I think the last one was like 2018 or something, was it?
May 26, 2018.
Yep, 2018.
He fought on ECC in 2013, October, which was when I beat Lee Cahoon. So no, like I said, that's all I know about him. But it's
Did you know that? Did you know that about him when they offered you the fight? Did you know that he fought on one of your undercards, or is that something that you discovered like after you were like, yeah, I'll take that fight?
Yeah, I take any fight as soon as Andrew Bakewell or whoever says that this is who I'm like, yes, no worries. And then I look afterwards just to have a quick look at what experience I've got. And I noticed that he'd fought on ECC. I looked at the date and I thought, I'm pretty sure that's when I knocked out Lee Cahoon. And I looked down and so I've met him or I've been on the same show as him, but I have no clue about him. I've seen his Instagram videos. He looks fit. He looks like he's up for the fight. So I thought hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Well, we are looking forward to it for sure. Yeah. It's a little bit of ways away here.
Looking forward to it, my friend.
4 weeks Saturday.
Yeah. Usually, like when we're talking to people, it's like, oh, you're fighting next week, but you got a whole month going on here. Yeah. Got some time to go.
Yeah.
We're going to do it to fill up all that time. Is that like, everyone, we talk to people and they're like, oh, I only got a 1 week camp or a 2 week camp. It's a short camp. And then some people are like 6 weeks. I feel like thinking about fighting somebody for 6 to 4 weeks would drive me nuts.
No,
You gotta, usually fights are in fights like we were talking about earlier. They're usually a spontaneous thing. So you gotta think about a fight for 4 straight weeks or a month, 2 months, whatever. That's a long time. To be thinking about punching someone in the face.
Like I said, I got Padwick in the morning now. At 8 o'clock with Christian, lives across the road from me. So I'll Padwick with them, and then I'll go to sleep. I'll get up. I'll do my night shift. I'll do Padwick again with Christian. So that'll be Friday morning. I'm back in Friday night. Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, I'll train. And then I've got 4 days off or 4 nights off, so I can go to a boxing gym Monday. And so I just tick over. Like, it's 5 2-minute rounds. Your fitness is, my fitness is here. I've got fight fitness of 94 fucking fights or 85 fights. So it's just the Padwick. And so, like, I don't spar. I haven't sparred for 8 years. I did a little bit of light moving around with a couple of guys the other day. I did like 9 2-minute rounds with some really amateur guys just to move around with them. But yeah, that's the most sparring I've done in 8 years.
What do you think of an old opponent of yours possibly doing this sport? What about Volkan Oezdemir? You fought Oezdemir 12 years ago. That dude hits like a fucking Mack truck. Can you imagine him in this sport? What do you think?
Right. So when I fought Volkan Oezdemir, right, it was a heavyweight tournament in Denmark. Now, I was a welterweight before that, and I thought the tournament was welterweight. Didn't realize that. So Sam Clark, my cornerman, rings me about 6 weeks before and says, "How's your weight doing?" I said, "I'm about 185. I'll cut down what you went, mate. It's heavyweight. You've got to be over 207 pounds or 206 pounds." I was like, "Oh, fuck." So I went on Burger King diet for like 6 weeks. The day we fly, I'm 5 kilo or 4.5 kilo underweight, right? So about 9-10 pounds. We go to Argos, which is a fucking catalog shop. We buy 2.5 kilo leg weights. I masking tape them to my legs, and I weigh in at heavyweight, right? Like that. They say to me after the weigh-in, because I had a pair of joggers on, fighters only joggers and trainers, so I was a bit heavier. And they said, "Oh, can you put these shorts on and do like the promo video for us for the big screen?" And I was like, "I need a piss." So now I go to the toilet, I take these leg weights off. I come back out with these shorts on. There's masking tape like marks on my leg. I do the promo, shit like that. And they just look at me thinking, well, so I'd have been like 86 kilo or 87 kilo at the most. And they look at me thinking, he has fucking got some heavy bones. Like, so anyway, I fought, the first guy I fought was Omar Cilia. It was like 3 fights. So I fought Omar Cilia. I cut him. I won by TKO. I fought Danny Toledo, who fought on the Marbella card. He was 100 kilo. I knocked him out. And then I fought. I broke my foot in the first fight. I broke my jaw and my nose in the second fight. So I'm sat in the change room, and it was 8 fighters from the 8 countries around the world. So you had like Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and they had a guy from Finland who was like the standing guy. So if anyone pulled out or got injured, he would step in. And they come to my change room and they were like, "Oh, look, can he fight, or do you want this guy to step in?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine." My jaw was like,
one more round.
So I said, Sam, stand me up, put my gum shield in, snapped it back in like that, and walked out there. And Volkan just clubbed me for like, I think it was about like a minute and a half. There's a highlight of the whole night. I'll send you the highlight of the whole night. And the Danny Toledo fight is online on YouTube.
All 3 fights were in the same night?
All in the same night. I fought 3 at heavyweight in the same night.
Broken bones. You're back in there against Oezdemir to close it off.
Yeah, Volkan, and
it's fucking crazy.
I broke my foot in the first fight, and I said to Sam, I was like, "Mate, my foot's broke." What's he went, "Oh, right, go out there in the next fight and just kick him as hard you can with your broken foot."
It's already broken.
So then I come back and I went, "Well, we won, but I think I broke my jaw, so I fractured it there, and my nose was fucking over here."
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And I was like, as we sat in the change room, he was like, "Do you want to warm up?" I said, "I can't, mate. I can't. I'm fucked." So I pushed my jaw in, and he stood me up, and we walked to the cage, and I got clubbed for about a minute and a half, and got stopped.
Ouch!
You are a fucking maniac. You are a maniac. I forget. We got a question from the audience. So Big Ben says, "So are you just looking for fights right now, or do you have one last push into you to go after a title?"
Yeah, so I'm also going to beat Liam now in March. There's fights I want, but then also, you know,
You mentioned
last
Connor
fight-
Tierney, right?
yeah, my last fight was for the light heavyweight title, so I can't be fought. You know, I jump in with another win. You know, I'm probably, you know, beat Liam. Yeah, I'd love to fight Connor for the belt. If I get 2 more wins, I think I'm definitely back in there with the title shot, at least in the UK. Yes and no. I'll take any fight. If a fight is offered to me, I'll take it. If it's for a title, I'll take it. If it's for a fight that'll be entertaining, which I've got a list of guys that to fight.
Who's on your list?
Right, so I've got Pick Jardine.
Okay.
Aaron Blakey, Lee Kuhn, Jomi Escoboza. I think it'd be a great fight, and he believes it's a flat Earth, not a globe. So I want to punch his fucking head in for that. You know, yeah, you know.
Okay.
Jared Warren, Danny Moy, obviously Danny Christie again, Conor Tierney, Johnny Graham, Jimmy Sweeney can go in there if he wants it. So yeah,
that's a hell of a list right there. Those are some big names.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think me and Jomi would be a great fight. He believes it's a flat Earth, and I believe it's a globe. So we'll have a bit of a fucking fight like that.
He's a flurfer,
dude. Yeah. I don't believe flat earthers really truly believe what they're saying. I really just I think they're fucking.
They're just trying to be argumentative and have fun.
I think so.
You know,
control people.
Like, do they believe that all the other planets are flat? So you know all these, you know all the planets are lining up now in the solar system. We're all lined up. Is it like when you fucking wash your plates and you put them in your fucking dish rack? Is that how?
I don't want to speak for all the flat earthers, but I'm pretty sure that most of them do admit that the other planets are round, which is in itself just very weird.
Yeah,
like they're all round, but Earth,
the Earth is flat.
Flat. Yes, exactly.
Oh my
it makes a lot of sense. Well, look into it.
Yeah.
It's science. The science. Follow the science.
Yeah, it's science. So.
I watched a video where Bryce Mitchell was trying to explain it once and for all why it's not round, right? And he said, and he was saying, if you were to hover a helicopter directly above Earth for 24 straight hours, right?
Yeah.
It would be in the exact same spot 24 hours later because the Earth is not moving, right? Like that was like his fucking. He's an absolute moron. When it comes, like Big Ben says that he's an absolute idiot. Yes, that was his thing.
Holy shit!
I'd love to know what helicopter's got enough fuel to fucking hover for 24 hours.
Right? Tell me about that fucking thing. There's going to be a lot of modifications happening. That thing's never going to lift off the ground.
No, is it fuck?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
crazy,
the flat earthers.
Crazy.
So yeah, man, that's
the guy
a
who's
fight.
Never flown.
Yeah.
Before you guys fight, when you get through Liam Dooley, and then you guys set up a Jomi Escoboza fight, we want one of those debate tables where Brian Socia sits in the middle and you sit on one side and Jomi sits on the other, and you guys debate flat Earth versus round Earth before you guys fight each other.
Jomi, I'm well game for that. Let's have a flat Earth fucking basic globe fucking scrap. Yeah,
I love it, dude, and that's a good list that you had. I love when a fighter has a list and they fucking share that list. That's good shit, dude.
You should take out a list in the middle of the ring after the fight. You should pull a list out and start fucking checking names off.
I lost I had a list before and I had Terry Brazier on it and I lost, but I crossed him off because I knocked him out. So but I lost it. So I had to write a new one.
Yeah, you have a list, and then when you're post fight, you like bring it up and you cross a name out.
Yeah,
dude. Do you remember when didn't Mr. Perfect back in the day, WWF wrestling back in the day, Mr. Perfect had a guy called the Genius that would walk out there and he would wear like a fucking graduation outfit, but I think he would have like he would have like a clipboard or something like that, and he would like
it wasn't the Genius, it was something else, and he used to throw his towel to him, didn't he, when he walked in the ring?
Right. Well, that was Bobby the Brain Heenan, but the Genius had like a clipboard or something. Like that. The Genius was Macho Man Randy Savage's brother. His name was like Lenny Poffo or something. Like yeah. I watch too much TV is what it comes down to.
I love old school wrestling.
Yeah. Dave, David Round, one more round, the Gangster Prince of Wales. We are excited to see you fight March 29th.
I can't wait to be back. Can't wait to fucking
a healthy, stress-free, ready to rumble fucking David Round.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, we loved having you on here tonight, and we want to have you back because you're a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Take the floor, say anything you want to say to anybody that's paying attention, and then we'll wrap it up with you, buddy.
No, just thank you to everyone, all my sponsors. I've got the list down here. Kevin Rogers, KGM Welding, Dan Goffin, Brian Taylor, Mal Mathias, Granicol, and JP Scafton. Thank you all for your help and support. I look forward to March 29th and putting a show on like I used to and being back healthy and entertaining everyone.
Fucking awesome, dude. And thanks for coming on here. And thank you to Tony for reaching out to us to get you on here. We're good friends with Tony too, so we've known Tony for quite a few years now. So
yeah, thank you for having me on, guys.
Absolutely. Mike, do you have anything else for David Round?
Well, David, we'll be watching, and everybody else better be watching. 29 March, Dooley versus Round, BKFC Manchester. It's just a little bit of ways away, but not too long. It'll be here before we know it. Thank you so much for coming on at 2:30 in the morning. I mean, takes a gangster to do that, and we had two of them on tonight. So go get yourself some sleep. Well, this is your shift anyway, so you probably
I'm gonna stay up for a couple hours and
hit the gym.
Go to sleep when everybody else goes to work, and then and you wake up and do your thing. But yeah,
there's a Calistello and
there you go. Yep, kick a few back, relax, hang out, and catch a contact, and we'll see you in a little while. And one day we'll make it out to UK. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get over it. Get over to the UK. Come to Wales.
We got to do it, man. We got to do it. We haven't been there yet. We've only been to Spain, but we'll make it out there, man. We'll make it out there. Good luck in your fight. We'll be watching, and we'll
thank you guys.
Talk to you soon. All right. Take care, man. Everybody else, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. Later,
David.
Hey, what's up, BKFC fan? This is Russ, aka Mr. Extra. Got my boy here, Carlos, CNC Management, #1 management team of BKFC right now.
Know that.
We want to give a shout out to Mike and Mish, #1 podcast in the fucking world.
Know that.
Ain't nobody touching them.
Period.
Love you guys. We're here at Clearwater Fight Night Clearwater at the Fighter Hotel. Waiting for the fighters to come in. Love y'all.
Little throwback.
Shout out to that guy right there, Russ and Carlos. Good people there. Dude, two awesome guests tonight, Mike. Two awesome fucking guests. Like, let me tell you something, dude. 34 professional bare knuckle fights is fucking crazy. That in this modern day, you know what I mean? In the modern era, like the John L. Sullivans of the world, had fucking, 100 and whatever many fights supposedly. You know what I mean?
We really had.
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? There's the stories of like the 1800s and these guys fighting fucking 89, 90 times, but nowadays, in a controlled arena, in front of crowds, in sanctions type shit.
46
you know what I mean?
fights.
Is that what it says? 46?
That's what it says. Yeah, that's what it says on Wikipedia anyway.
So there you go. Like, dude, in 2025, for a guy to be stepping in there for the 34th fucking time in this sport is just crazy to me. And, he's a legend for a reason. It's fucking awesome. And then David, one more round, dude. I'm glad that he is stress-free and healthy again, because that dude puts on some fucking wars and he's an entertaining ass fighter. And dude, to go to be his size and to go fight a fucking heavyweight tournament where the third fight in the same night after breaking bones is fucking Volkan Oezdemir.
Yeah.
That shit's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is. He's like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to receive a beating for the. It's just go home after that.
With a broken foot and a broken jaw and a broken nose, and still stepping in there. You're cut from a different cloth if you're pulling fucking stuff like that.
Definitely. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and I'm gonna go, my back's a little bit tight. I might call a lot of work.
I was in the gym earlier today at work, and I was benching, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go heavy here. I want to see if I still got some fucking old man strength in me, and I did. And I did put up some pretty fucking good weight. But I feel like I pulled my left ass cheek in the process. Like I put
No, wow.
I put one rep up, right? On the second rep, I felt like you remember like when your brother or someone punches you in the leg with the knuckle out
Yeah,
like
the
this?
Charlie horse.
Yeah, the Charlie horse just a
Charlie
bam
horse.
right in the fucking
Yeah.
dude. I went one rep, second rep. I felt like somebody punched me in my left ass cheek, and I was done. I was like, I put the bar back. I was like, yep, that's enough for today. And I moved on to a different exercise. No more benching. Guys like this guy here are are stepping into a fight with Vulcan Ozdemir with a broken foot and a broken jaw and a broken nose, and he's still fighting. Like I'm bitching about a Charlie horse in my ass cheek and putting a bench bar back.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Prima donnas over here.
Yeah, fucking God, man. Yeah, and I can't wait to see what happens if Jimmy Sweeney does, take the rubber match against Rico Franco. If you guys watch the first two fights between Jimmy and Rico, and it's like we loved Rico Franco too, but the second fight, Jimmy Sweeney put on a fucking masterclass in that second fight. Just battered him around. I think he dropped him 3 times in the first round. It was like,
man.
It was dropped him 3 times in 3 rounds or something. Whatever it was, like it was a one-sided fight. The first one, Rico was doing his thing and Jimmy was having a hard time with him. The second fight, it was a completely different fight. It was kind of a masterclass by the king there. And so now we talked to him back in Marbella, Spain. He told us the same thing that he said tonight. I am not going to walk into this company and demand a fucking title fight. I'm not that guy. I will earn one. I will win 2 or 3 fights, and then I will go after a world title. If he beats Rico Franco and they put a European title on him, I would imagine he's one more win away from Austin Trout, right? Like they're not going to make him wait that long. If he's wearing a damn strap from the BKFC Europe, I would imagine he's a fight away.
The reason why he might not be is because he admitted to not wanting to fight more than 3 fights, so they may not give him a title fight after. You know what I mean? Like the European fight, great, he gets a title. If he wins, he gets a title. Maybe he'll defend it a couple times. I don't think they're as concerned. But I don't know if they'll allow him to fight for a title, win, and then retire if they know he's going to retire. That could be like
unless they think he can sell out like a soccer stadium in Ireland.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, between Connor at the helm there and like Jimmy Sweeney fighting for a world title, like a 60,000 seat arena in fucking Ireland, maybe they were like, you know what? Even if you win the title and ride off into the sunset, we're gonna fucking do this.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can see them being a little bit like, I don't know,
Yeah.
But we will see. He could change his mind, and that's what I think when he talks about like, I got about 3 fights, and one of them's going to be Rico Franco for the title, so I got 2 more after that. I mean, that's what he's saying now, but when he gets in there, could change his mind, especially if, like you said, he sells out some places, he makes some extra dough more than he made in the past, he makes more money, maybe gets a little more notoriety because he's on a bigger stage. He's a champion. Like it could change everything. If he wins the belt and then he fights in Ireland, like it could change. He might be like, oh, you know what? Well, I might do a few more.
Absolutely.
So,
dude. Yeah, it's great to have him in here.
It's going to be a little bit different than like BKB events. I don't know. I've seen a lot of like fights from BKB, but I don't know how big the events truly were. Like they're not 17,000 people. I know that for sure. But right. BKFC isn't always putting on 17,000 people, but they are steadily putting on 6,000 to 7,000, 8,000.
Yeah, the crowds are getting steadily bigger like that. Yeah,
they're big. There's a lot of people there. Yes, it's different.
And we didn't even like get into like the rule. But the same day weigh-in thing is going to be such a breath of. I think that's going to be like such a fucking big deal for him. The fact that he doesn't have to weigh in the day of.
Yeah.
For the first time in his entire professional career, he gets to weigh in and then have 24 to 36 hours to fucking rehydrate and re-energize.
That
It could be a whole nother. It could be a different guy. You know what I mean? Like he was great before, but he was great before cutting 8 to 10 pounds in the same day that he's weighing in and then fighting later that day. Now he's going to get an opportunity to fucking cut weight, weigh in, rehydrate, put 10, 15 pounds back or 10 pounds back on, 12 pounds back on overnight. Who knows how much he puts back on because he's never had to do this before. You know what I mean? Like maybe he doesn't put on a bunch of weight like some of these guys do. Some of these guys that weigh in at 145 and step in there at like 170. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he could weigh in at 165 and be 172 the next day. Who knows? But it's a new fucking thing for him. And when he drops somebody, they don't get 18 seconds to get up. You know what I mean? They don't have that 18-second count. There's a lot of differences between the 33 fights that he's had before and what he's going to do in Italy. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the new company. Same sport, little different rule set, little better treatment with the fucking weigh-ins, you know?
Yep. Looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. Well, Kyle.
Yeah, we got to shout out our sponsors real quick, and I'm going to do it right now. We got Dynamic Life. Everybody get over to @LIV Dynamic on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio for weight loss, sexual health, and anti-aging. Dynamic Life is your spot. That is @LIV Dynamic on Instagram. And then get over to the official mindset tool and recovery tool of the BKFC and the Mike and Mish Show. It is the Rasha. You go to @Rasha Elite on Instagram. There's also a link in the bio there that'll take you to their website. It is therasha.com. That is the website. And you get your ass inside one of those domes. If you ever have a chance to get into one of those Rasha domes, it'll change your life. I'm a believer. Mike's a believer. And we thank Dynamic Life and Rasha for keeping us rolling over here. Yep. Mike, we got to work in the morning. Do we have anything else for the people? And a huge thank you to our two guests tonight. And do you got anything else for the people, Mike?
Nope, I do not. But you know what? In a week, there'll be much more to talk about.
Absolutely.
Without fights. So
with that said,